I have some exciting news. You can now convert a multicolored image into several layers on your laptop or desktop computer. Cricut came out with this update 1 month ago, but it was only for mobile devices, but now you can access it on your computer. I didn't expect this to happen so quickly. I really only use my computer, so you can obviously tell how excited I am. I was working on a different project and accidentally noticed it, and I wanted to share right away. I'm going to be using this image as an example. It's a sublimation PNG image, so typically for this you would only be able to use it for print and cut. I'll give you a quick example of it. You can see that it looks different here. That's when I first noticed it. I'm just going to upload this. You can see how the upload screen looks different now. We used to only have the option of the single layer and the flat graphic, but now we have the option of multiple layers. But I want to give you an example of this image first without the multiple layers. As you can see, this has multiple colors in it and it's set to a print and cut, so it would be best for like stickers. But if we want to cut this out on vinyl, let's say we want to add vinyl to a mug, we wouldn't be able to do that. If you go over to Operation and switch it to a basic cut, it's going to switch it to one solid layer. Sometimes with these, you can use the contour button to split it up and make different layers, but for this specific image, it just doesn't work. If I click on the contour button, it just doesn't have the best capabilities to do that. Now I'll give you an example with the multiple layers button. I'll click on upload. Even though it's here, I have to go back into upload image. I'm going to double click and bring it back in. I'm going to keep the multiple layers image selected. You can see this is for just Cricut Access members. I really wish that these tools were available to everyone, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. I'm going to come down here and click continue. And now this is the screen. It looks so similar to the screen on the mobile apps. At the top, you can choose clip art or photo. I'll give you an example of a photo in a minute, but I am going to keep clip art selected, and you can choose stacked or sliced. So far, when working with this, I've preferred the stacked. That gives you that solid base layer and then other layers to stack directly on top of it. Or you can choose sliced, and that slices up the image. I've just found that for some of the images, including this one, it just doesn't always work the best, and I'll show you why. You also have the option of 9 different layers, which is really cool. You can find free SVG converters online, but you don't have the option of how many layers you want. So I think this is a really cool thing to be able to do. So let's say we want to do all of the different colors. I'm going to select that. At the very top, it says this is the preview. Here is what it's going to look like when you bring it into Cricut Design Space. And here's all the different layers. You can click on this and see how they look separately, or you can go in and click on each one to see how they look. One thing that I don't love with this specific image, let's say we are using the pink layer, I'd prefer just to have this piece here, but instead with the pink layer, it's the entire thing. So it wastes some vinyl and it makes your vinyl a little bit thicker, if that makes sense. So that's when the sliced option comes in. If you select that, then it makes it where you can piece it together a little more. So here's what these pieces look like. I'm going to change this back to stacked. You also don't have to have all 9 colors. Let's say you want 5. It's going to look somewhat similar, but to me it makes it a little bit simpler. So when I'm making this, I prefer to do more like 4 to 5 layers instead. When you look at the layers, here's what these look like. And let's try the sliced and see what that looks like also. Like I said, I think I still prefer the stacked style. There's also an advanced option. You can use smooth, reduce noise, and simplify. This comes in handy when you're uploading a photo and Cricut even automatically tries to adjust it for you. You can really just play around in this to try to figure out how you want your image. I might even switch this back to 9 layers, and I'm going to bring it into Cricut Design Space. If you look over in the layers panel, it looks like there's only one layer, but you can press here and here's all the different layers. I'm going to hit ungroup and just separate all of these. Isn't that so cool? I just love this new update. I want to show you an example with a photo as well. Let's go back to upload. I'll click upload image and browse. I'm going to upload a flower. I took this picture at my old house. We used to have peonies there, and they're my favorite flowers. Even though they only bloom for like 2 weeks, they are so beautiful. With photos, it's going to look better if you remove the background. All of the leaves here just is going to make it difficult. So I am going to select remove background. This obviously looks a little funny. It's just used as an example. And I just noticed it looks kind of similar to the flower that they used for an example. But I'm going to click apply and continue. It automatically has this one selected, so I'll hit continue. You notice right there it doesn't look great. That's just because it's only 2 layers. Let's switch it to 9 again. I also forgot to switch it from a clip art to a photo, so let me try that. I can't really tell if that looks better or not, but since it's a photo, I'll just leave it on that. And let's look at all the different layers here. I have it as stacked, so it has this solid layer. And like I said, I prefer to keep it on stacked. When you're layering vinyl, you want a solid base layer, and then you can layer all your other colors on top of that. Here's what the rest of these look like. I'm going to try switching this to like 5 again and see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to keep that, and I want to show you a little trick to clean up some more in Cricut Design Space. So I'll hit continue. Let's delete these. I'm going to make this a lot bigger. Look how cool this looks. So what I'm going to do is I am going to ungroup it again. So this layer looks good, this one looks pretty good, but these others look just a little bit messy. When you're cutting out vinyl, sometimes you can lose tiny pieces. So if you want to, you can go in and get rid of a couple of those really tiny pieces using the contour button. So let's say I just get rid of this one, maybe this one. And then for this piece, let's go to contour, and I'm just gonna get rid of some of the little tiny pieces. Let's just try something like that. And then when you piece these back together, it's really hard to piece this back together. Okay, I pulled that back in the best I could. I know it's not perfect. I would have to look at the original, but you can just take out some of those tiny pieces and it doesn't change the image too much. Also, this looks very difficult to line up, but you can use the parchment paper method, or there's another method where you use squares to line it up. If you want to see an updated video of me making that, definitely let me know in the comments. It's been a while since I've made one. But that is it for this video. I am obviously so excited about it. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and I hope you all have a great day.